Okay, Pute, let's start. Last day we have just discussed about our examination paper, and today we have to continue our lessons. And now we are here in our programming lesson. So under that we just discuss about basics of programming. First of all, we just discuss about the programming languages, and I think you can remember the programming languages. Yes, like programming languages has generations. So we learn about these basic generations first. So the first generation, which is in machine language, these are machine dependent, not just in machine language. These codes are machine dependent. Machine dependent means like if you write this machine language, let's say you have two computers, old computers, right? Two old computers. One computer is, let's say one computer is A, the second computer, there is another computer B. So this is computer A, computer B. So let's say you wrote program to computer A, and so you need to write another program to computer B. That is why the machine dependency. So that is the machine dependency, right? These codes were written in binary, but the thing is, it is difficult. It is difficult. Why? Because you need to rewrite the code to each machine. So that if it is identical, that might work. Identical, exactly same machines, it might work. But so let's say there is a slight change, small change. Still, if there is a small change, still you need to rewrite the program. That is in this context. Right? That is the basic of machine language which used in the first generation. But the second generation, it was updated. In the second generation, the updated version is assembly language. But still, this assembly language codes were machine dependent. That means when you write program to computer A, so let's say the A and B are not identical, there is small change, small difference. Still, you need to write another program to computer B. So that is in the second generation assembly language. But assembly language is actually it's like this. It is shorter than the binary language. Binary is lengthier because everything you have to tell using ones and zeros. Everything you need to tell using ones and zeros. Binary. Text is also binary, pictures are also binary, videos are also binary. Everything is handled using binary. But in the assembly language, there was introduction of short words like add, register numbers. These things were there, but still not that much clear. That is basically technical, but shorter than the codes written in binary, pure binary. It is shorter than the code written in pure binary. But you need to translate them to binary code. But still, because in today's world also, computers are using these machine languages. It cannot understand anything new. It can only understand machine. But the thing is, we can write programs in assembly and translate to the machine language using assembler as the translator. Then came to the third generation. We learn about the third generation language, which is superior to the second generation. It is high level and it is human friendly. And it is not machine dependent. That means you can write single code and you can run the code in both machine A and B. දෙකේම run කරන්න පුළුවන්. එක code එකක් ලියලා A machine එකෙත් පුළුවන් B machine එකෙත් පුළුවන්. එතකොට machine dependent නැහැ. මෙච්චර කාල තිබ්බ problem එක machine dependency එකනේ. So what was the problem? So there is the machine dependence. That means when you write a code, it is working only in that machine. But when it comes to third generation, when you write a code, it might run in some other machines. Not all machines, but it might run in some other machines. And it also needs translation. So there were two kinds of translators used, compiler and interpreter. Those translators were used in the third generation. And the fourth and fifth generations are more superior than third generation high level language. Those are also high level. So that is, we are not calling high level, high level. But still those are high level. So these high-level languages are capable of writing programs easily. So we learn about that. Then we learn about the basic 3 principles of writing programs. The first one is, so we learn about 3 control structures. Can you remember them? So what are the 3 control structures we learn? Yes?
Sequence, selection, repetition.
Sequence,
Selection.
and repetition. In the sequence, instructions are executed one after another in an order, sequential order. Let's say you came from grade 1 to grade 9. How? You passed grade 1, then passed grade 2, then passed grade 3, grade 4, 5, 6. Likewise, you came one by one in an order. You came to grade 9. So that is simplest control structure that we write in the programming. So that is sequence. Instructions are executed one after another. You can see this diagram. So this is written in single medium only. Yeah, you can see this is in English medium also. So then you can see in the sequence, the instructions, this is actually the design. Design is, so what is this tool, Pute? What is the name of this tool? This diagram, this is we call it flowchart, right? We call it the flowchart. Flowchart is a designing tool, right? Remember that flowchart is a designing tool. It is used for program designing. Flowchart is a tool used for program designing, and this is a program designing tool. This flowchart explains how the data flow, how the instruction flow happens. So you can see start, enter number 1, after that enter number 2, after that add in number 1 and number 2, after that displaying the number, displaying the total, and stop. So you can see it's a clear. It has only one path, no alternative paths. That is sequence, where the instructions are executed one after another. We call it sequence. The second thing is selection. In this Pute, you have an alternative. So it can be multiple alternatives. It can even be multiple alternatives. Can be one alternative or can even be multiple alternatives. So how these alternatives works? So you can see input marks. If marks greater than or equal to 50, right? If marks greater than or equal to 50, then display as pass. If marks greater than or equal to 50, then display as pass. If marks less than 50, display as fail. So you can't display pass and fail both. It is not possible to display pass and fail both. It is either pass or fail. So let's say you have 50 marks, then you pass. It is not pass and fail both. Let's say you have 51, you are pass. Let's say you have 49, you are fail. Only one option, right? So there are alternatives. There can be multiple options even, but still you can select one option, that is called selection. The program flow, instruction flow is selected based on a given condition. So that is basically the selection. Then it comes to the repetition. The same instruction flow is executed again and again until a certain condition. We call that repetition. That is the third control structure that we need to learn. So there you have forever, which is executing always, repetition, repeating the things always. That is forever. Normally this is called game loop, because games are running forever. Games නවතින්නේ නැහැ. Games දිගටම run වෙනවා. Game over වෙනකන් run වෙනවා. Games are running forever until you finish the game or game is ended. Until then, it's running. So that is forever. Repeat. You can repeat limited amount of times, or you can repeat until a certain condition. Repeat until the game is over. Repeat for 10 times. Likewise, you can decide how to repeat. That is repetition. That is the third control structure. Under second control structure, we have given example So can you remember how we did that? So shall we do that again? And I just need you to recall the things again, because we have not discussed this for 2 weeks time. So sometimes you forgot this. So let's do and understand this. And before we begin, I would like to emphasize another point, that is the concept of variable. Actually, variable is a memory location. Variable is a memory location, which is used to hold a change in value. It's like a bucket. This bucket can be filled with different liquids, different time, different amounts. So similar to that, the variables used to hold change in values. But these values are changing time to time. We can't tell what is the value. These values are changing time to time. So there are some rules when defining variables, especially using meaningful names, without using spaces in the middle, without using special symbols, and without using reserved symbols or characters. It is better to declare variables but these rules are not enforced in Stretch. Stretch වල මෙච්චර මේ strictly මේ rule එක බලන්නේ නැහැ. හැබැයි සාමාන්‍ය programming, in normal programming languages, this is checked. Right? This will be checked. Okay, now let's move to the coding part. Shall we do this quickly? Okay, can you tell me what are the variables here? So what are the variables here? Create program to enter marks for 3 subjects: mathematics, English, science. Display total and average. Variables means having change in values. So what are the variables?
3.
Sorry?
3 variables.
Maths, English, and science. Maths marks, English marks, and science marks.
Yes, sir.
An average.
Yes, average. Yes. If this maths is changing, this maths mark is changing, English mark is changing, science mark is changing, then the total and average is also changing, right? So total and average are also variables. Total and average are also variables. Those are also changing if these marks are changing. And what about grade? Grade is also changing, right? So grade is also changing. Each time you will get different grade for different marks, different total, different average, and different grade. So a lot of variables. What are the variables? Maths mark, English marks, science marks, total marks, average marks, and grade. 6 variables are there. Okay, let's implement this. I'll give you 5 minutes. I think you can implement very quickly. So shall we give a try? This is actually recalling, right? This is just recalling the things that you have learned. Just recalling the things that you have learned. Okay, shall we do this now? I'll give you 5 minutes. Just do this using Stretch. I'll give you 5 minutes, right? Do this using Stretch. If you need any help, any assistant, you can ask. If you need help, assistant, you can ask. Okay, Senuka, yes, if you are done, you can share Senuka. I think you are good in Stretch now, right? Seems. You can share the screen, Senuka, let's see. All right, okay. Entered maths mark, science mark, English mark, found the total. So can you scroll up a bit? Just need to see. No, just scroll up to things. Just need to see. If it is greater than 74, right? You have just used one condition, right? Okay. 59, 20, 39, and you just use one condition. That is also okay, right? No issue, right? So, but you have to display total and average as well. I guess it's missing, right? Total average. No, you are displaying there. You have to display in the program. Okay, at that part too. Okay, good. So let's do this. This is for those who have not done and those who need support. Load in Stretch and start creating this. Then let's start a project, a new one. And you know there are 6 variables. First of all, I'm going to create that 6 variables. Variable 1, maths. Variable 2 is science, SCI, and variable 3 is English, ENG, let's say. Oh, not N, it should be ENG. ENG, English, and so then you have the total and the average and the grade. So the variable names, meaningful, short, easy to understand. So not using any keywords. So these are the variables, like all I initialize to the 0th. First of all, I'm going to get information when I click or when I click the flag. I need to ask enter maths marks and wait, and after that I'm going to assign the answer to the math variable. Set maths to the answer. So I'm going to repeat that. Right click, duplicate, and right click, duplicate again. I have to do 3 times to get the science mark, SCIENCE, and the English marks, English. Okay, here I have to assign science, SCI. Here I have to assign English, ENG. Done. Input is successful. Let's press it. Enter maths marks. Okay, you can see the maths mark here. Science marks, you can see science marks filled here. These are buckets, variables. These buckets are filled with the values that I have given. 76. Now you can see 3 buckets are filled. Now I have to collect the buckets to the total variable. Set total, total. I have to add this using operations. I am going to add all 3. That is maths, science, English. Then the average, set average. So from the operation, I'm going to divide this time. What I'm going to divide is I'm going to divide the total, and by, actually there are 3 subjects, so total divided by 3 will give the average. So I have calculated total and average. Let's test this. 3 marks again. The total is, you can see total is 252 and average is 84. It's calculated. Done. Now the calculation of grade. So let's use the conditions. Now here we need the conditions. So you know the conditions are if else. So the first condition, let's go to the control, if else. The first condition is if this average, so let's use the operation. If this average is greater than or equal, so you can check this. I'm using both, right? Senuka has used one, I'm using both. If it is greater than or equal to, so I have to do this like greater than to 75, or you can just give 74 as he has given. It is also easy, convenient. Greater than or equal to 75. If greater than or equal to, what is greater than or equal? Is average. If average is greater than or equal to 75, that's what I'm going to do there. If it's so, I'm going to display. So let's assign the grade, set grade to A. I'm going to get A. Let's duplicate again. Keep it here. The value should be 60. And if it is 60, the grade is B. Let's take the duplicate again. Keep it inside else. The value is 50 this time. And grade is C. Let's duplicate again one more time. Value is 40 this time. And then the grade is, this is C, this is S. Finally, else if it is F. Set grade to F. Finally, you need to display all 3. That can be done by using looks. You can display say, and again I'm joining, spelling total total is space, then the total. Duplicating again, and one more time. My program is done. Then I can say average is this AVG. One more time. The grade is grade. Okay, if there are any difficulties, please let me know. This is the complete program. But in case if you have any difficulties, you can tell me, then I can help you understand this. Are you okay with this or any issues? Come on, you have to answer. If you have a problem, don't wait till the others. If you are unclear about this, tell me.
It's clear, sir.
Clear, sir.
Right, I hope others also have the same answer, right? So let me download the file for you. And I'll upload this to you. You can, what you can do is you can go to file, say, load from the computer this time, load from the computer and upload the file that I'm sending. You can upload the file that I'm sending to your phone. Let me upload from the computer. Okay, I'll send the file. Just download it and use it. I'll send the file. Just download it and use it. Right. That is the first exercise. And another new thing, another thing to, actually, I need to tell another thing. So let's say you got some logic errors here, kind of logic errors. So instead of multiplication here, addition, so let's say I have used something like this. I'm using multiplication, the asterisk. Then I'm just putting this and this inside. Okay. It's a mistake. Will this program run? Will this program run? And will it produce the expected output? It will run, right? It will run. Will it produce the expected output?
No.
No. Right? You can see it's always giving A. So let me run this. I'm giving some marks. But after entering the marks, you can see it is a 993 and average is 993, grade is A. So that is a disaster. It's not what we expected. These kind of errors are called logic errors or semantic errors. These kind of things are called logic errors or semantic errors. That means there's nothing wrong in the code, but something wrong in the logic. So if there is something wrong in the code, it won't run. Okay, let's say, so if I write something like this, if I write something like this, I'm combining here. Keeping it here. Still, you can see this is a program, same program, but different locations. Now I'm trying to load the program. It says something else. So it is basically given. It is also a logic here, different order, but not running properly. Right? So understand this. If it is error of the code, if it is error of the code, it won't run. But if it is error of the logic, it will run, but produce the wrong output. If it is error of the code, we call that is syntax error. If it is error of the logic, we call that semantic error. Okay, do you know about bugs? Bugs, B-U-G, bug.
Yes, sir.
What is bug?
It is an error which happens because of the wrong order of the program.
Anything else? Only because wrong order, or can be anything. So bug can be anything, right? It can be logic error or it can be code error, anything. So what is debug? What is debug?
Bugs. Fixing the bugs.
Fixing the bugs, detecting, finding and fixing the bug. Actually, this happened long ago. I think I have explained you the story of bug and debug. So let me show. Go to the okay, I think you have seen this image. This is first computer bug. Actually, I said that the first programming language was machine language, binary. Actually, people had to configure switches to give input.
So in one of those computer, she found a living bug, actually a dead bug.
Yes. Actually, when he was doing this programming, actually these people, earlier days, if you wish to program, you need to be responsible for that machine. Imagine the size of machine. Size of machine is like a large building. Size of the machine is like large building, and there were around 500,000 above hand soldered joints and closer to 10,000, 20,000 switches. Actually, if this machine is down, if this machine is damaged due to your code, you need to repair it. So see, think the challenge. Not like earlier days. I gave you 5 minutes and asked you to do a program. You don't worry. You don't want to worry, because if you write the program correctly, you can show it to me. If you cannot write the program, that is not a matter. If you write a wrong program, still it is not going to break your computer. But earlier days, if the computer damaged due to his or her code, then the particular person need to repair the program. So that is a headache. Actually, this person has done programming, and actually the machine went down. So actually this is the person, right? This is the person who identified the bug. He or she, I think, right? Okay, had to repair the machine due to that issue. So what has happened? So when we try to repair the machine, so there were switches. And there was something found in between this switch. Switch was not properly closed due to something. This something was recognized as a bug. So the person thought this is a bug. Bug means, makuna. That makunek thought that this is a bug. So in today's world, it can be even a crow. Anyway, it's not crow, fortunately, it's a bug, right? This time. So this bug, when it was discovered, when this bug was found, then, so he thought this bug need to be removed. So he debugged. That's how the term came, bug debug term. So he thought a bug and bug need to be removed, debug. But after removing, it is identified as a moth, not a bug, but a moth. Moth is a small kind of a fly, or it's like a butterfly. So the moth, when this moth here, you can say relay 70, the switch 70, panel left, moth in relay. So this is considered to be the first computer bug. So nowadays also we are using the term bug for errors and debug for correcting, fixing and correcting the errors. Okay, let's write small note on that. syntax errors. Errors in the code. When there are syntax errors, the code won't run. Program translator will stop the code from executing. Therefore, these are easy to detect. Semantic errors. Errors in the logic. So semantic errors are errors in the logic. When there are semantic errors, code might run. But it will produce, the code might run, but semantic errors, the code might run, but it will produce incorrect and unexpected results. But it will produce incorrect and unexpected results. Much difficult to detect semantic errors. Any kind of error in a code is called a bug. Detecting and correcting these errors is called debug. These errors are called, oh sorry, errors is called debug. Okay, please write down this. Once you're done, so I'll give you another challenging exercise to complete related to repetition. Right? This will be a small challenge. Use pen, sorry, pen or pencil, is it? It's pen. Pen, yes. Use pen extension and draw symmetric shapes within bracket triangle, square, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, and star. using repetition, in stretch. You have a challenge. You have to use the pen extension and draw symmetric shapes: triangle, square, pentagon, hexagon, octagon, and star. Assign those to commands, keyboard commands. Example, you can use numbers. How many shapes? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Numbers from 1 to 6. You can use as a commanding keys. When you press 1, a triangle. When you press 2, square. 3, pentagon. 4, hexagon. 5, octagon, and 6, star. Likewise, you have to change based on the command. Okay, I'll give you 5 minutes. Let's see who's going to do all these things. A challenge. Let's see. Right, let's see. Don't worry. Let's see whether you can do that. If not, I'll help again. But I'll teach you one thing. So then I think you can do this as a homework. I'll give you guidance. So you have to take from the extensions. So let's take a new file new. I'm going to save this and this time. So instead of the cat, so let's erase the cat. I'm going to use another one, meaningful. I'm going to use a sprite, a meaningful one. So let's use pen or pencil if it is available. Okay, I have pencil. I'm taking that. So let's make it smaller. I'll make it 20 pixels, so small. I have small pencil. From the extensions, I'm going to add pen extension. Okay. So when I click from the events, and I'm going to press first key number 1. So from here I have select 1. When 1 is pressed, what I have to do, I have to draw a triangle. So from the control, I'm going to repeat how many? Triangle has 3 sides, right? Repeat 3 times. So what I'm going to do, I have to I have to move forward from the motion. I'll say move. So let's say move 100. Oh yes, move 100 steps and turn the other side. Turn other side. Move 100 steps. Turn. How many degrees? Turn 60 degrees, right? And I press key number 1. Oh, what's happened? Oh, I need to include color. So here I need to pen down first. Pen down is required. Okay. All right. It's not 60 degrees. Other side is 120. 120, yes, 120. First of all, I have to create everything. So here I erase all, then pen down, so you can see. So let's one. You can see the triangle, right? If I use here, I can move the.
How it becomes 120?
Sorry.
How the angle becomes 120?
So because that is the external angle, right? When you move here, the internal angle is 60 degrees. The external angle is altogether it is 180. No, you know that, right? In the mathematics,
Yes.
It is 60 here. The external angle is 120. So you are turning this side, no? So you move here and turn 120. And you move here, turn 120. And move here, turn 120. You're coming to the original position. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So that is the basic one. So I think you can repeat the same. So let's see. Let's do for the key number 2 also from the events. You can say when the key number 2 is pressed, control, you have to repeat this 4 times now. So again, what you have to do, you have to go to the operations, and you can just copy and paste it. I think easiest thing is copy and paste this, right? 4 times. Now let's see. And when I press key number 2, you can not 120, it should be 90 degrees, right? Then when I press key number 2, you can see it's only thing is I had to point in direction 90, otherwise it's drawing some rhombus like thing. Now you can see it's drawing square. Key number 1 is triangle, key number 2 is square. 1 triangle, 2 square. Okay, so that's it. You can just do some decorations, you can change the colors, everything is here. When you go to the pen, you can change the colors, these things are there. Each time, maybe each angle, you can change the color, right? You can change pen color by pen. Let's do in the middle, and you can see each rotation is changing the color, each side in different color. And maybe you can change the pen size. Okay, set the pen size to some larger size, maybe size like 5. Then it's visible. And I press this. Okay, that is 2. Okay, 52. I just need 5. You can see. Same things you can apply other things also, and please draw all other symmetric shapes and also star. And you can do this as a homework, right? Then see you in next week. Good night. Please copy down before you leave. Copy. Bye.
Good night, sir.
Right, bye.